Welcome back. It's Star Wars Minute, the podcast where we go minute by minute. We analyze, scrutinize, and celebrate the Star Wars movies 1 minute at a time. I'm Pete the Retailer from PeteTheRetailer.com.
It's me, Alex Robinson from AlexRobinson.fun.
I am, Josh? I'm Josh Flanagan of iFanboy.com.
There you go. Now you got it.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Josh.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's right. We're continuing our coverage of It's Solo, a Star Wars party. Everybody celebrate. We're doing minute 8. Minute 8 of Solo. Minute 8 starts with Han and Kira getting rear-ended, and it ends with Han and Kira kind of stuck, weaving their way through airport traffic. And I love that, Malak is he's just like a truck guy with his dogs. He puts his dogs in the truck and he goes and,
Yeah.
I want to see, casual, what on his day off, Malak.
It's hard to dislike him if he has a vehicle specifically designed with his dogs in mind.
Yeah. And
wish
he's just doing his job. He's like an assistant manager. I have nothing but respect for Malak. This
is a case where I really wish that Moloch was subtitled, because I really feel like they could have gotten that would have been no, it's just it's just generic.
I think that's better. I will disagree with you on that.
Really?
Well, there are times when he's subtitled in here, though.
Yeah. The earlier when he's talking to them directly,
sure.
But when he's just kind of
but that's that's like the sail barge. It was a bunch of weakways and whoever's
just a bunch of weakways.
I know, but I think it's an opportunity for some good characterization and
Fair.
And
I mean, is it ultimately going to matter for that character?
Yes. No. But those details like that totally make a difference. Little bits of dialogue, that's like saying, "Oh, the Rancor keeper does that." Him crying is like.
But he didn't. But he didn't say words. He acted it, and so you got to then fill
Moloch,
in the story.
Unfortunately, he's not. We can't really see his face, so we can't really get anything from his
hooded fish people with masks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just feel like it's an opportunity for a little bit of characterization. I'm not saying it totally ruins it or anything, but him referring to them by different insults is just a little bit of a creative.
Why do you have such wrong opinions?
I can't help it. I'm on the internet. Well, anyway, I do also, the truck speeder is Moloch's vehicle there.
Yes.
Another very Soviet-looking, kind of...
Truck speeder even sounds Soviet.
Yeah.
Space Lada.
It is called a truck speeder. It doesn't quite translate into a literal thing. So what? You can't do a Russian accent?
The Russians are going to be mad at us now.
I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to do any accents anymore.
Well, British is the only one you're allowed to do.
That's true.
That's true.
Because they out-colonialized us. So
plus, you can apply to any other culture.
You can always have Nazis as the villains, and you can always have British people to do
goofy British
not American.
I apologize to the people of Russia. I did not mean to characterize. It was
you're going to get
purely
doxxed.
I'm not saying
I picked the Russians.
I'm not saying I support this, but it seems like you're also free to do Italian accents, total stereotype cartoon Italian accents whenever you want.
Depends on what neighborhood you're in.
Yeah,
you can get away with it.
Oh, I can.
No,
you just hold up the card.
All right, I pull out my little necklace with the.
I didn't come from the right Long Island neighborhood for that.
No,
since my brother and I are both half Poles and half generic, we really wanted to avoid any kind of Italian accents on the Godfather Minute. We don't want it to be any excuse for people to notice that we're not Italian, making a thing about an Italian movie.
That's why you got to have Tony and I on every once in a while.
Yes, you're our
authenticity.
Here's my Italian friend.
Right. Hello. Tony more so than I. We'll play.
Yeah,
I use Ron Richards for that.
Yeah,
I can get away with doing cartoonish.
Radke. Yeah. These are all veritable Italians.
So also
without
the subtitles things, I think their tendency is to not want to do subtitles because they think people don't like them because I got to read now in the middle of the movie. But I think reality shows have made people more tolerant of occasionally having subtitles in a thing.
But that's just because of drunken people who are slurring, not because of
bad. But it doesn't matter. But the fact is that people are conditioned to be able to quickly read a subtitle that pops up for a short amount of time. Because that's the thing. So. You can't have it be a long, So anyway, like on Arrested Development, they would occasionally do subtitle gags or whatever.
Also, though,
yeah.
But at the same time, they would have had to write material and jokes and stuff like that. but and it could be bad. No, I'm serious. Like from an economy point of view, like you're like, well, we'll just make him make funny sounds, and then people can write their own jokes for it or not.
That's
and
true.
Otherwise, it's not what the scene's about. So I don't know. I don't
To
know why I'm
each their
fighting
own.
you on this. I don't care.
To each their own.
Yeah.
I think when you can give hench people more characterization, I think it makes the movie stronger by having them
Well-
be individual people and not just like, I'm an alien. You know, it's just kind of
Yeah.
like,
That's all the subtitles would say. Like, "Rawr, I'm an alien.
that would be awesome.
Blah, blah.
You know, stop humans, something, you know.
But
Or like
well,
a
it does
human-
get subtitles. That's the thing. Like when it's important, we get subtitles. But
right.
when he's just
It would be
Living
like
in the
when,
world.
like, you know, in like World War II, when like Japanese soldiers would try to psych the Americans out by saying stuff about how bad Babe Ruth was and stuff like that. It'd be something like that. Like he's doing stuff to get a rise out of these humans.
right.
So
There's no
so-
one coming for you. Betty Grable is terrible.
What do you-
We have
Exactly.
we have her
we need more Betty Grable jokes. In
Yeah.
Star Wars.
going
It's like,
back.
what are you gonna do? Run away on your two legs?
Anyway,
Yes. Moloch. Love him. And then we get
Go
I
ahead.
think we're gonna say the same thing, perhaps.
Sandwiches.
Yeah. I could go for a sandwich right about now. No, we got a Death Star droid and a Death Squad commander in the same shot.
Mm-hmm. Classic Kenner.
Yeah. And I tried, maybe because you have, I sat here going like, I wish I had the visual guide. I could not find a name or any info on that protocol droid.
Interesting.
I know he's like an RA7, I think is the,
The Death Star model.
This is the guy at the gate.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, that gate's not stopping anything.
No, yeah.
I
Ain't
assume
no
it's not
stopping us
really
now.
that high. It must not be that high level security. This is like the
Yeah, it's not a military. Well, I know it's like a border, isn't it? I mean, that's the international spaceport.
but they could totally have things that if they really want to stop people getting through, they
Right.
wouldn't just have a Death Star droid. And
Well,
a,
apparently not, because they went right through.
Yeah. Yeah. Now,
there should have been a banjo during this whole scene, like a classic Dukes of Hazzard kind of vibe
Right.
to it.
What do you think about the joke, the gag? You know, you must follow SPAC protocol.
right.
Is that joke Star Wars?
See, that's the thing. It's high. Like most, it's high. I was high and I laughed. No.
It was
It-
much
it's
better.
high level. Like, if you're just watching this and you don't know, if you're in the middle swath, the bulk of the viewers here, you're not necessarily going to know that's a protocol droid. So that you must follow bonk protocol has a layer that's only for, you know, the I'm not gonna say the upper echelon. Well, let's flip the axis on that. We're the bottom
Sure.
echelon. We're the sunk to the
useless nerds.
yeah, the depths
The
of
trolls.
the
The bottom of the
deep.
iceberg. Bottom of the
Right.
iceberg kind of
the
stuff.
Yeah.
troglodytic movie fans.
Yeah.
Yeah. The sun. The sun.
Exactly. We're like Lady Proxima. We're like, the network television.
The well actually group.
Yeah. Like you have to know enough about Star Wars to get that, but then also it's slightly not Star Wars. So it's an interesting, you know what I mean? I guess the joke just works fine if you don't know that, but then you do know that, and it's a gravy layer. But then I feel like there's I don't know. Again, I think it's funny. I like it.
I think it has something to do with like an overall trend in the way that movies put jokes in. Like
Right.
you'd see that in a Marvel movie or in, you know, it's just like comedy that exists in movies now that they wouldn't have done in the
Well,
70s.
No, I mean it's very much like you just said. You know, that there should be like a banjo. Like it very much like, you know, the man with the golden gun or something like that, or you know, like that. Like this is Sheriff Pepper, or like whatever. You know, doing this. It's a similar kind of a thing where they're just kind of cutting through random things. Like there should have been a droid double take or something like that. It's
It feels
we
very
did it.
prequel joke to me.
But
I think that's what I'm getting at, but I think that is just how things are now. It's not, again, if you're approaching this without really knowing anything else, it's fine.
I feel like it's like prequel joke would just be like having them be like whoa and like get hit with it.
I think they did that at
yeah.
some point in this. That's not
Having them just walk out and say something and get it, like it's a little bit more nuanced. I think it's a different, slightly different level, but it's also like, yeah. I mean,
I'm always happy to see a Death Star droid So there's that level, of course. I'm iffy on the joke. I almost feel like I'd rather it doesn't bother me, but it feels like it was like as simple. Like I almost would rather have the droid been stuck on the front of Moloch's thing and been like, I don't know.
I don't.
I mean, I said I wanted Cannibal Run, so this is
There
a
you
very
go.
There you
Cannibal
go.
Run joke. So I guess I got to take
Going
it. I
back,
got to
that's
take
what
it.
I'm saying. It's 70s, like
Withdrawn.
My question
Complaint
isn't
withdrawn.
is it good or bad? It's just like, is it a Star Wars joke? And I think it is now, but it wasn't.
right.
That ship is that is it
Yeah,
Star
no,
Wars?
it's
Is it
just-
not? Is kind of
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, it is
what-
because now it's in Star Wars, but
Well,
it,
in
it
the
wasn't.
context,
Yeah.
in the context of like, does this part of the feeling that I'm looking for? Really, because that's my thing. Like, I
it's
want- I
not.
want
It's
that feeling.
prequel era Star Wars. It's
But it's
Well,
not.
then
It's
it's not.
post. It's sequel era Star Wars. There's a nuance. There's an extra layer of nuance. It's not prequel.
Yeah,
It's an extra layer of nuance.
It's not. There's the troglodyte.
Welcome back, yeah, to the Well
not a
Actually
fart.
group.
It's not a fart joke.
No, it's not a fart joke.
Yeah.
all right.
There's
Well,
words to
You know how it's not a prequel joke because it's kind of funny.
it.
If its head had landed in poop, then it would be a prequel joke.
right. In the background, I was hoping for maybe I'm conditioned from Futurama, something like that. I saw the sign I saw the sign. I opened up my eyes. I saw it. It was on the little toll booth there. There's a little sign with some Aurebesh. And I was like, oh, let me translate that. Maybe I'll get a fun in joke like Futurama. No, it says checkpoint. I was like, oh, all right.
Now what's your? So that's an interesting
Is
question. 'cause-
Aurebesh still used in the new movies?
Yeah.
definitely. They
Okay.
really lean actually heavy on
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
They always. But do you think they should include little jokes, or do you think at this point it's so common that it would almost people would be mad that there was jokes in it? Isn't that pathetic? People are getting mad that there's hidden
Yeah.
jokes and things.
Well, guilty. I mean, they should make a joke, but it should be written in Aurebesh. You should really have to work for it.
That's what I mean. Like, it's not, you know what I mean? It would be like a extra level. Like, it's not just written out there for anybody, but like, it shouldn't be an outright joke. It shouldn't just be like, you're like your mother written in Aurebesh. It should be like, it should be.
The best part though would be being in the theater and it happens and the sign goes across and one guy laughs his ass off.
Right. And then like the rest of us like years later are like,
Yeah.
oh, that's what that guy was laughing about.
It said your mother. How do you even? It's
No,
in
that
Aurebesh.
That would definitely be in the screen grab for the clickbait article about 5 things
Right.
you never noticed about the Han Solo movie. So yeah, so
and
we're
it
all
was
agreed
I knew that.
the-
I knew that. I knew that.
Yeah.
Oh, it says your
Yeah.
mother. I knew that. I knew that.
I think it should be the kind of thing where all the Aurebesh, like in the movie, is one long continuous.
Oh, it's like a
thing.
Burma shave.
Yeah, exactly. Like
That's what the millennials like. Burma shave references.
it'd be a website where you could download an
I didn't even
avatar
get
for your
that.
ringtone.
Yeah, there you go. I only know Burma shave from Mad Magazine making jokes about it. It's a regular. It's a Spiro Agnew effect.
Right.
Welcome back to the Spiro Agnew effect.
We are trending older than we actually are. At this
Yeah,
point. It's great. That's why I missed you guys.
Here's something I liked in the movie we were talking about. When you
Please.
see this more Star Destroyers being under construction, you see them being hoisted up the big, I guess
yeah.
those look
The
like
little floating Epcot.
The
shield
shield generators. Yeah, the
centers?
Epcots.
yeah, the
Yeah.
Epcots. They're
Signed.
Oh,
Epcot's
that is
mother.
what those were. I was thinking that those were like a way to transport things up, like they were balloons that were
Oh.
lifting things.
I like it. I like the way you're thinking,
Yeah.
like a space
That's what I
elevator.
thought that was. Yeah. Which would be cool because it's like, how do we think about technology differently than the way that we do it? But
Right.
what you're saying makes more sense.
Well, yeah, we already saw them building the kind of Hulk of one, the Hulk, the hull of one.
Yeah.
Of the Star Destroyer.
It was incredible, incredible hull.
It was incredible hull. Yeah. So I like that too. I liked all the ambiance here.
Mhm.
And there's another bit that'll come up that we'll get. I don't think it's in this, but we'll see it in a little bit too. Another good piece of ambiance that actually is a remnant of a cut scene, but still a tiny bit of little snippet left for us to savor. So that they don't get no, they're stuck in traffic at the end of this. I'm not up to my next note yet for the for the Kazdan.
That would have been a great gag. Is like they're going through the chase is happening, going through everything, and then there's a cut, and they're all just sitting there stuck in traffic.
Right.
And then Moloch's 2 cars back,
And then everybody gets out of their cars. They do a song and dance number. There you go.
Oh,
Hey.
Did you guys see that
then,
LA
but then they
musical?
cut immediately, and they're back to driving. Like I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's La La
Well, because
Land.
if they get out and
actually
they
did it in the
fight,
movie.
and then the traffic starts to move, so they have to get back in their cars and move like 15 feet, and then they get out again and then get back to fighting.
And then the whole rest of the movie plays out. It's all just like them talking while they're stuck in traffic. And so it's just like a.
When
like
I get up to you.
I like this
didn't
'cause
they were talking to Moloch. I think it was just Han and Kira talking.
Oh.
I like this because it almost harkens back to American Graffiti, like have it shot
Right,
like more or less in
exactly. There you
real
go.
time, and they're all stuck in traffic together. I like it.
Hmm.
Well, I have today's visual guide. Bit
Is
of
it about
trivia.
the RA7 protocol droid?
No, you have
Oh.
information about the no. I
I'm
don't.
outta
No,
here.
I have none. That's what I'm saying. I want to hear about the RA7 protocol droid that's in this scene.
Zero. I want to call attention to Moloch has a scepter in his hand.
Moloch has a
There you go.
scepter
You can
in his
kinda see that.
hand. Go
See that
ahead.
there. You might
It's a
not be
Led
able,
Zeppelin song.
Yeah.
you might not be able to see what that is, but according to the book, it is the scepter depicts writhing scrum rats.
Oh.
So
Wow.
the
Calls them
head of his
scrum
scepter
rats.
shows children writhing around, presumably in pain. So this guy's
This guy is
Hmm.
obsessed with Scrum
All right.
Rats.
he's a
I
CBA certified bad. Blank.
take back what I said earlier about Moloch, and I no longer new information has come to light, and I no longer support his positions.
Yeah, but that earlier information is what you're going to be pilloried on eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't look-
earlier tweets and comments in the podcast show that you supported him, and then you got canceled.
Pete the retailer says, "I like Moloch." It's the campaign ad, smear ads against
the
me.
reverse the negative image of yourself with the
Right. But yeah, we hear he's out of respect for cars. Han's a car guy. Moloch's coming for him. He says, "Damn, that Stinger's fast."
Mhm.
And I'm assuming that's Moloch's truck, right? Is a Stinger his dog truck?
did they call it that? I just see it called a truck speeder.
Truck speeder.
I didn't know if a stinger meant because he was a worm, like some kind of bug.
Oh, is that like a?
That was a racist epithet. Once again, Pete, you
Let's
really
see. Stinger is a it's a Saronian assault ship given to Prince Cheezor of the Black Sun. No. Wait a minute.
Prince Cheezor.
When are we
Hunka
going to
Hunka
do
Burn
Shadows of the Empire minute?
It is pronounced Gizor. I was impressed that you did that.
Oh, is it? I always just said Cheezor because I thought it was funny, but it was.
Yeah, it's like G, but
Oh, see,
So, Josh, one thing we've talked about on the show
flaming
is
hot Cheezor.
go on.
Would this movie have been received differently were it not about Han Solo? Let's suppose they made this a Dash Rendar movie, just some other guy making his way in the galaxy.
No,
You think
I
no matter
don't
what,
think
it was just doomed to...
I mean,
If they had said it during the Resistance time, so you knew there was some possibility that he could interact with Resistance, with
I
the
think-
other sequel characters.
I think if you're doing I'm basing this on nothing. I think if you're doing a movie, it has to somehow relate to the greater story. And if Han Solo isn't the person in this,
So that's the
Then-
the Marvel effect, which is that
yeah, otherwise it's like a TV show. And I
Right.
don't know,
even
don't
TV
think
shows
it's-
these days now have to be part
Yeah.
of some
but I don't
world
think
building.
it's good enough to be carried on its own. I think it's largely built on the back of Solo. Like it's
Right.
not compelling enough.
It would be
There's
like
no
a
stakes.
sci-fi movie.
Yeah,
like
but there's
it'd be
but there's
like-
no there's
I
no
mean-
stakes for it in the context of Star Wars if it's just Dash, unless you connected that whatever.
Right. So unless there was some, that's the weird thing. Unless there's some way this is going to impact another movie, we don't care.
Well, kinda, but like at least not another movie, not even economically. Just I think in order to keep it part of the narrative, you kind of all have to.
Right.
You know, you don't have to do it in like comics. You could get away with it like that, but I think in movies and TV, you have to have some sort of driving forward element or some connection to the tree. I think.
Mhm.
I guess. Can I just say that I don't know if anybody's ever mentioned this, and it's possible they have, but the background behind Pete makes it appear as if Han Solo is holding Ben Kenobi's severed head.
Oh, yeah, look at
Wow,
that.
look at that. Yeah, I
It's
never
just-
noticed it.
More
It's
YouTube.
like I just keep seeing it. It's just like I have his head, boy.
I want to draw that now.
My background Googling has yielded nothing.
What were you
because
looking up again? I don't
was
even remember. What you were
Solo
looking up.
Stinger. I was looking up a Stinger. What
Oh.
the Stinger? Damn, that Stinger's fast.
That's tough.
No idea, because
I-
I was looking up Solo Stinger, and then I got some kind of like chemical supply, like glassworks company. I don't know what.
I don't know if this is the spot for it, but I have more notes. Like I really like more of the designs we're seeing as they sort of drive through this whole thing. But I really love the fact that Han's car is not symmetrical. Like it's missing
Yeah.
parts on one side, which to me is again it's another very sort of Star Warsy thing. Is that the Millennium Falcon's not symmetrical. It's
Right.
sort of it's off center, and I think that's one of the things that make it such a great and lasting design. Is that it just has this off kilter feel, and this car sort of has that too, which it should. I mean, like hopefully they did it on purpose, but if not, they just sort of felt it out. Yeah, that was another thing. The design's great so far.
Yeah.
Mhm. I agree. Anybody have anything else for minute 9? I'm
I'm
at
good.
a loss. We have more stuff. The chase continues.
Oh.
Minute 9. The chase continues.
Chase
One last,
never
I guess,
ends.
overall thought
Please.
is, and this is related to sort of what Alex had said, is that
What do you
I
think
wrote
about
that
overalls?
Overall
this-
thoughts.
it's not a good. You know what? It works for skiing.
Hmm.
It works for outdoor things if
There you
you're
go.
in the cold or the wet because you don't get it in the shirt.
Hmm.
So there you go. I have some back there I could show you. I have my outdoor shell. I just had to repair them. The world depicted thus far of Corellia
Mhm.
feels a lot like what I used to imagine Star Wars worlds would feel like as you went to these different planets. So when you read, the novels or even some of the video games, you'd think, oh, because back in the day, you'd be like, oh, it'd be really cool to see some of these other things. And this world thus far really does feel like one of those things that I'd kind of imagined it would be cool to go. This looks like the place that Han Solo maybe came from.
Mhm.
And it's like the world around us has a character and a feel that I think it fits really well, and across the board. And I like that a lot. I think in some of the other shows, they lean on. I mean, how many things are based in sets that may as well be Tatooine? I mean, there's like half of them. They're just
Right.
in some desert somewhere, or actually back in Tatooine. This one seems like its own place, and I dig that.
Yeah, it's true. It's got the, it's cliche, but that lived in look is part of what makes Star Wars.
Mhm.
And this is very much lived in and looks real. As you said, it looks
And
like The Wire.
And it looks like a place, it looks like Star Wars, but it's also recognizable as something. It's not. I was thinking about in The Mandalorian, there was the fishing village where I was like,
Mhm.
that's a step too real. Like he's like, so the Quarren, I think, had he has a Irish fisherman sweater on.
Right.
It's
Oh, right. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's too much Earth. This is just weird enough that it
Turn down the
kinda
earth. Turn
works.
down the earth.
And also in that movie sense,
I like
in the
that
movie
song.
sense, you
Turn
need
down
to.
the earth.
It's a real set. It is somewhere on Earth, so you're watching to try to make it feel like somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's just right.
It's true.
Yeah, it's a delicate bit of alchemy getting making it feel like Star Wars and making it feel like Star Wars, not Earth real, but not too earthy.
Yeah, like if one of the dock workers had a flannel shirt on, you'd be like, nope,
Right.
not
Yeah.
that's not gonna work.
I can't wait till they finally do a time travel story and we get to see Star Wars
Come on.
characters wearing contemporary clothes as they try to blend in.
Like is it Star Trek 4? Is that the one?
It's like
Right,
every
yeah.
science fiction thing.
Well, on that note, we're going to time travel to tomorrow. Josh, you're still under contract for tomorrow, so bright and early. Hope,
I tell you what, I can't wait. I do have a doctor's appointment in the morning,
No, it's all right.
so I might be running a little behind.
We'll work around it.
Offer to pay us
Man.
double. See what we say.
Yeah.
Men of a certain age need to go to doctors far more often than we used to.
In the meantime, if you there listening, you
there, boy.
why not go check us out on the social media? Josh isn't there. We were just talking about that, but hey, other places you
Josh
can find
free.
us.
Josh
Josh
free
is
zone.
there.
I'm still on Instagram for the time
Oh, there you
being.
go. Go to Instagram. I thought I saw you somewhere.
Yeah, I'm there, but there's no information there.
Because once you said skiing, I was like, I've seen him ski.
Yeah, no, that's there, but no one's arguing about anything.
Yeah.
In my part of that.
But yeah, we're on Twitter at Star Wars Minute, Instagram at The Star Wars Minute. Technically, we have a TikTok at The Star Wars Minute also. There's 2 things there, maybe more by now, who knows. Go to Facebook, StarWarsMinute.com/Facebook will get you to the Star Wars Minute Listeners Society. There, it's just me. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of listeners, a lot of fans. No Alex. So you want to talk trash about Alex? Go to Facebook. I'm there. I'll be like, yeah, man.
Or Josh.
Or Josh, yeah. Well, who would want to talk trash about Josh?
Swing away. The guy really didn't like my review of Boba Fett.
Right.
There's that one guy.
Well, if you're that guy, maybe you'll be back tomorrow for another episode of Star Wars Minute.
Star Wars Minute.
Subtitle that.